I've not made many videos on the channel yet, but if I had to pick one that took the longest and was the hardest challenge, it would be this jerk. The video did pretty well, and I really enjoyed putting it together. So I'm gonna attempt to do a part 2. And here we are, back in our one life legendary survival save. And what I didn't know going into this video is that it's not the grind to the next 100 days, but it's the countdown to the end of my days. Yep, I've got 48 days left alive. Here's how it went. I'm gonna be honest, it's been a while since I played Skyrim, so it's gonna take me a minute to get back into this. Probably shouldn't have jumped right into this save. Just trying to figure out where I left everything and what I've got on me. Let's take these empty soul gems to fill. Looks like I ended off at level 52. I'd like to get smithing, alchemy, and enchanting maxed out to move on to a new set of gear. Killing mud crabs might be a good way to get back into things too. Not much chance they will kill me at this stage, hopefully. I go between my home near Solitude and Whiterun, filling gems fighting these guys. My build for this playthrough is a stealth archer who uses conjuration as a distraction. And as a reminder, the only rule for the playthrough is that I've got one life. But I've avoided exploits like the merchant chests you can find hidden in Dawnstar, for example. Over at Whiterun, and the sun's gonna start going down soon. Quickly hit up War Maidens to buy some smithing materials, and then the thing I was worried about happening in part 1 happened. See, I'd gotten my conjuration to level 50, and read when you get a magic skill up past level 50, this mage will have a chance of spawning in. He killed me in one of my first few attempts at making the first video in one hit with his lightning spell, and as strong as I feel at the minute, my heart is pounding. I don't want to take the first shot at him and risk getting in trouble with the gods for aggroing first, so we're gonna have to have a chat with him and start the fight. I could try to avoid him altogether while in Whiterun, but I'd rather he not catch me off guard. So my arrow is tipped with paralysis poison, and I'm buffed to the heavens. Triggered it and froze to fortify my health. Now to wait for the green light, and okay, that wasn't so bad. I can't tell you how terrified I'd been of this jerk turning up. Seemed easy enough, but if you're not ready and come across this guy doing a one life challenge, then you're in trouble. At least I'll never have to worry about this guy again. I ran up to Jorvaska to buy out Yerlin's smithing materials and do some training sessions. Didn't bring enough potions to trade all of my coin back, unfortunately, but I'm not going to be struggling for gold anyways. We'll make sure to grab more potions tomorrow. Ate some gold rings and iron daggers and went up to Dragon's Reach to use the enchanter. By the end of the day, my smithing was up to 88 and enchanting was 86. That's not a bad start. Headed for home to grab some more of those potions to sell. Made so many of these suckers. Also realized I had some more iron here too, so I pumped smithing a little bit before having to sleep. In survival mode, you can only level up in a bed, and we're gonna need to... we're gonna need more levels before I can make new gear. Wow, my magicka and stamina has been neglected. Why stop now? Took the 5th enchanter perk to make my enchantments 100% stronger. I'm gonna be hitting up some more towns until I max out all of those crafting skills. These poor hawkers are gonna get shot into next week. Feel bad, but I need the souls. I know it makes for a boring video, but this is my favorite part of playing this game. Just chilling out, leveling up the crafting skills. Hit every trader in this town, buying useful things they had, and selling my overpriced potions back to them to recover my coin. I'm not cutting out any bloopers today, by the way. Make sure to hit the smithy and enchanter at each town to... Okay, I changed my mind. We're cutting some bloopers. Make sure to hit up the smithy and enchanter at each town to use up what I've collected. I think Markov is next. Sure. Did sleep a few hours here to wake everyone up. Only bad thing about sleeping here in Markov is the beds are rock hard and there's an old man that's always in your room when you wake up. I guess, depending on who you are, that's not a bad thing. Didn't accomplish much here though. Went to all of the traders and worked on smithing as well as enchanting, but they hardly budged. Think Falkreath is next, and I'm gonna take the horse there to kill mud crabs on the way. The last few levels for smithing is gonna be rough. Enchanting shouldn't be too hard. By the time I made it to Falkreath, I'd gotten not very many souls. But it's progress. Same deal here. Hit up all of the traders, buying soul gems, smithing materials, and alchemy ingredients while using some of that stuff to pump up their respective skills. Got interrupted by a pup I'm not one to turn down a doggo, but I got places to be, Barbus. Lake Riverwood, hitting up all of the merchants around the world, and this place is next. Rented a room to sleep for the night, though. Nobody's up yet. Had a level to spend, gave the attribute to my favorite child, and went back into the enchanting tree to take Corpus Enchanted to make my health, magicka, and stamina enchantments on armor 25% stronger. This next set of gear is gonna be pretty great. Riverwood doesn't have many traders, just like Falkreath. I got the blacksmith to do business with, and the guy at the general store. As much as that place doesn't have much for me, Whiterun is just around the corner again, and all of the traders should be restocked. I know dwarven bows are way better for upgrading smithing than daggers, but I refuse to add a perk point into dwarven smithing at the minute. Gold rings and iron daggers will take a while, but they'll do just fine. Got my smithing to level 94 and enchanting to 96. So close. Gonna go in a circle around the towns we already hit in this grinding session, so Solitude is next. What's it they say? Different day, same soup reheated on day 5. Not much to report from Solitude. Did shoot a hawk. Felt bad afterwards. Not sure why I did it. I'm a monster, I know. I was walking to my home not far from there and spotted a dragon though. I had shelter nearby and kinda wanted its attention. It's not that I'm feeling needy, I just need its skin and bones to make armor soon. Despite my best efforts, the scaly boy flew away. I'm heading home because I need to drop some junk off. Inventory has slowly been filling up with things I've been buying but not using to beef up my skills, like grand soul gems for example, and random bits of clothing I'll use for enchanting sets later. Day 6 was a good day. I'm not far from the farm we own. It's just down the road, but I heard you can get a goat pet that has a nice chunk of inventory space from this guy in Rorikstead for just 200 gold. That's a pretty huge inventory upgrade for hardly any money, so I bought it. Now we have Hilda the goat. Was a little worried I couldn't have the goat and my companion with me at the same time, but nope, they can both come along. I swear we'll get to doing some quests in this video, but for now I'm spending the rest of the day gathering my potion ingredients from all 4 of my homes and hitting up all of the traders around towns again. Got attacked by some bandits at Lakeview Manor home. This one had a full set of dragon plate armor. It's heavy armor, but I'll still take it. Doubt I'll switch from light armor, but you'll never know, and it'll save me lots of dragon bones using this instead of making a new set one day. Hilda coming in clutch, carrying crap already. Speaking of crap, I can't see for crap. Tired as all get out, and I need a bed, even if it is made of stone. Besides the blindness, it's a good day because enchanting is now up to level 100, and I can take the extra effect perk to be able to get 2 enchantments on the same item instead of just 1. Smithing is still a little off, and I'm gonna be taking a break from what I have been doing to raise it, doing something else instead. See, I read online about this place that's supposed to have a load of gold veins to mine, so let's go see how much we can get. Just down the road from Markov, there's some Forsworn chilling on the road. Murdered their faces and went into this mine they were hogging. Did have to kill some more in here, but there was so much gold. Made sure to get all the veins, and by the time I left, I had 52 ore and 2 ingots total. 1 or 2 of those might have been in my inventory before my trip here, but that's a lot more than I was expecting. And so close. Smithing is at 98. 2 more levels. Still need dragon bones too. I'd like to take a minute to talk about today's sponsor, G2A. What is G2A? G2A is a massive online global marketplace you can use for all of your video game needs, from games themselves to DLCs and softwares. I'm using it to pre-order the Black Myth Wukong game for that 15% off deal they're doing right now until the 25th of August. This game's a fast-paced Souls-like game based on Chinese mythology, and I can't wait to play it. I've been hooked on Souls-like games recently. Been keeping my eye on this game for a while. I'm gonna treat myself to the digital deluxe edition. Heck, you know what? I'm gonna pick up some other things while I'm here. Download the G2A app to access exclusive deals. Subscribe to their newsletter, spend €10 and get 10% off your next buy. And save 15% more with your next app purchase. There's deals everywhere. It's crazy. Be sure to check out the link in the description to browse yourself and get 15% off your next purchase on the G2A app. And like always, I'd never promote anything I don't personally use, and I'm always using G2A, always grabbing a sneaky key from here. So again, thank you G2A for sponsoring today's video. Get your keys now. Stupid ancient dragon turned up. I didn't mean it. I'm gonna wear you like a coat. I'd have to go dragon hunting by the time we're able to make our dragon set, actually. Give me those bones, sucker. Today's the day. Nearly 10 days into the video. Had to rest to level up, taking health, and ran through the Falkreef traders, then the Riverwood traders, and lastly the Whiterun traders to finally get Smithin to level 100. Now I need to go home to drop things off and think about getting some more dragon bones. I said now to go home to drop things off and think about getting more dragon bones. Carriage driver needs his ears checked. I made it, and now for the awkward fumbling around my home, hoping I somehow don't screw up making the new gear. Gotta unload all of this junk my friends are carrying too, and after clearing out everyone's inventories and storing all of the items away safely at home, I checked what all I needed for this dragon set. Looks like I have everything for a set for me except the ebony ingots. Luckily, a trip to Solitude up the road fixed our shortage of ingots, and I made a full set of dragon plate armor and a bone bow. Needed more dragon scales than bows for that armor. Gonna need more of the stuff to get my companion new gear, sadly. Went to hang up the glass gear on this mannequin in the cellar and put the bow on this weapons rack. Now we have to sort upgrades, the scary part. Sophia, come on. What did I tell you about getting stuck in the table? Get out. I made a new enchanted alchemy and smithing set and went ahead and upgraded the armor and bow I made. Got my gauntlets, necklace, and ring enchanted with 45% sneak and archery. Then on the chest piece, I got health regenerates 35% faster and my health is increased by 70 points. The boots have increases shock resistance by 42% and sneaking is 45% better. Lastly, my helmet has magicka regenerates 70% faster and bows do 45% more damage. There's also the backpack I'd had this whole time that gives more inventory space and a little more bow damage. My armor rating is definitely over the cap at 1046 and my bow damage is a huge 513. I didn't enchant it, not sure what I want on it yet. I know I have a level to spend and I want steady hand too to make my zoom in with a bow slow time by 50%. I'm liking the look of my new set, but I want to go try it out. So let's go do the next step of the main quest line. Last I left off, I hit up the Greybeards after they summoned me and they taught me some new shouts and wanted me to recover the horn of Jürgen Windcaller. The horn's just down the road from my house, so let's go pick it up. Had to go into this crypt that was filled with baddies. Perfect for trying out this new set. Basically impossible for me to be spotted. Loving this new set already. I know it's hard for me to get detected now, but it could all still end in the blink of an eye, so I'm trying not to get too cocky. Except around skeletons. These guys are jokes. Used the whirlwind sprint shout to quickly get past these gates and made it to the end room where there was no horn to claim. Instead, there was a note left. The note says, I need to speak to you urgently. Rent the attic room at the Sleeping Giant Inn in Riverwood and I'll meet you there. A friend. Better go meet this friend. Right after I'm done slaying some stupid dragons. This guy's first on my hit list. I have my dragon set, but my companion is still in glass armor and I want us to match. I was doing so much damage to this thing, I had to check I was still on legendary difficulty. But we seem fine. It's just a regular dragon though. Not anything fancy, so it's nothing to worry about. Took the scales and bones and gave them to my goat. Don't eat them, okay? Went and took the word of power it was gotten before hitting up Windhelm nearby to see if the innkeeper would give me a hint on where a dragon is. Sometimes they give you dragon bounties, but not this time. Should've checked Google. I see another dragon shrine on the compass. Totally did use Google to find it. Too much in this game to remember everything, okay? Got a frost dragon this time on the hill. A little tougher than the last one, but I don't think it'll be a problem. It looks like some kind of little abandoned town up here too. Can use the houses for shelter. Mentioned I want a full set for my companion, but I also want some different sets of armor for myself too. Definitely want a Bata set, and I'm not sure it needs to be dragon scale. Okay, give me those bones. Hilda, carry these for me, beautiful. Slept in Riften because I was a little tired, and I do remember there was a dragon shrine behind the town. Gonna leave my horse here. Might try to get a nice sneak attack on it. Last time I came here, I think I might have died in a different playthrough to a soul gem trap, so I gotta be careful. Yeah, there is the sucker. Took a shot and missed. Try that again. There we go. Oh, and taking a marksman potion will put my dragon bone bow up to 963, by the way. Not sure if there's a damage cap like there's an armor cap. Is that a thing? I really have no idea. Only learned about the armor rating cap when I started making YouTube videos and you guys told me. I swear every playthrough I'd learn so much more about this game. Anyway, That first hit did a silly amount of damage, and this thing stands no chance. Hilda is hit maximum load with the bones, so Teldrin, my friend, you're up. Oh, and I did get the word of power before leaving, making sure to do that every time. Next one is another Google victim. Just across the saber fields, there's a shrine, and this one was annoying. It's a blood dragon, which wasn't the problem. The problem was that it kept running away, then landing in weird places to heal up, and then it would come back with more health. I say kept. It did it once, but still. Might be my first dragon kill from horseback, too. Making sure to collect the words of power as I go, like I said. Be cool to get all of these one day if I don't die. That's just about all of the bones and scales we're gonna be able to carry, so I better head home. And I did. Made a full... Did you bring me anything? Sure. Take this knife. Now, get lost. Yeah, don't tell the goat. I'll be in trouble. Made a full set of dragon armor. Forgot Teldrin won't wear the helmet, so I could have saved some resources, but he's all kitted out now. It's not upgraded or enchanted, but it's a start. Had to come back anyway. Made some crazy poisons before leaving too. Paralysis poisons keep enemies down for 32 seconds. These poisons have made the game so much easier. Oh, I'm gonna sneak up on this one. She's sleeping. Got the high ground this time, and oh, that was a lot of damage. Just a blood dragon, but I'm feeling pretty powerful these days. Killed it where it sleeps. Gotta go grab its bones and soul. Uh-oh, I'm in the floor. This happens a lot and is probably gonna be what kills me one day. Pretty sure I can sneak up on this next one too. And yep, but that was significantly less damage. Somehow didn't get a sneak attack there, but it's okay. Just a few more shots and the poor thing's down. Marksman's potions are kicking butt. Stripped off Teldrin's clothes when we got home and upgraded them. I didn't enchant them for now. I wasn't sure what I wanted to put on his set. I know some enchants don't work on armor for your companions. And not many scales left again, but I did chop some wood outside and use the wood and dragon bones I had left on dragon bone arrows. Arrows weigh a lot if you have too many of them, so I put all of the other arrows away at home and just use these dragon bone ones. 456 of the suckers to stick in people. Off to Winterhold. I want to pump my conjuration. I've apparently not been in here yet. I forgot all that I've done in the first 100 days, okay? The elf guard in the bridge wants you to take part in a small test before she escorts you to the college. Wants me to cast Healing Hands. Now, normally she offers to sell you the book for the spells if you don't already know the spell, but I don't have the spell, and some reason she isn't offering to sell me the spell either. Feel like I'm missing something. This really sucks though. Popped into the store in town, but she didn't have it for sale. Checked if I could just stroll into the college before doing the test, but yeah, the stupid gate's closed. Not sure I've had this happen before, but it's a trip to the next closest city, Windhelm, to buy the book for me. Ran through the town to the king's palace to find a mage. Ulfric and Stonefist's bodies are still here. It's been ages and they still haven't cleaned up. While screwing around in the palace, the strangest thing happened. A saber-tooth ran in, trying to cause trouble. What is what? Found the mage and bought Healing Hands. Made sure to be lazy and take the carriage back. Okay, Ferelda, be healed. Now she let me get into the college, and I immediately get to work looking for the conjuration mage to train me. But I couldn't find him anywhere, of course. Well, I need some quests to follow, and I'm already here, so I had this lady show me around. Guess I'm going back to school. Or bed. I'm going back to bed because I'm tired and I can't see. You get your own sleeping quarters to sleep at while you're here, so that's nice. Found him. This is the conjuration trainer sleeping in his bed. Did my 5 training sessions and bought some books I didn't recognize. He had a bound quiver spell tomb. I'm not too sure what that does. Bought that and the bound bow, totally forgetting I already had that spell, and also got the soul split book, which turns out to be the only one I have enough magicka to cast. Lets me sacrifice a friendly summon to create 2 sundered shades for 60 seconds. These guys could be rubbish. Guess we'll find out. Alright, so now it's time for my first lesson. I went and learned all about ward spells, and also learned I had a teleport Hilda spell. This could be really useful for sure. That sounded sarcastic, but no, for real. Could be useful. It's field trip time. We are off to explore a dungeon with Tolfdir and the rest of the class. What started out as a simple field trip ended with, well, it wasn't simple. Helped this guy find 4 magical artifacts around the place and got stuck in a room where I got the last one. Had to put the artifact on and blast through this secret door to get into a new area of the dungeon. Alduin is now here with me, but time stops and I have a chat with a member of the Sigic Order who says judgment will be passed on my actions to come because I have the potential to prevent upcoming disaster. Then he leaves. And Alduin didn't see him, but says we should look what's ahead. Then a Droga popped out of the wall, revealing a new direction behind them. Oh, and the soul split shades suck, by the way. No good. Basic Droga here, and they aren't doing barely anything to them. There was a fair bit more Droga in front of us to deal with, as well as a few easy puzzles to complete to progress. Finally, I made it to the end room where there was a Droga that's seemingly invincible. That is until Alduin screws with the ball in the room, which leaves him open to attacks. Down he goes. He doesn't want to leave the ball alone. I'm to return to the college and tell the Archmage of our discovery. Rode on back to Winterhold, trying to be quick so I don't freeze my butt off, and told the Archmage all about the ball. He wants me to find out what I can at the Arcanium. So I go, but all of the books on the subject have been stolen by a member of the college that ran off to join some summoners. Let's go get them back. Right after I avoid talking to this muppet blocking the door. Lured him deeper into the room and run past down the stairs. Ain't got time to chit-chat with that jerk. Just standing on some fire outside Whiterun. This is how you don't die in survival mode. Makes sense. Going around the town to go to the place with the stolen books from here. Mages galore at this location coming up. I'm kinda terrified of them. Surprised myself, I'm going with the College of Winterhold quest with how worried I've been about them actually, but I'm here. Had a dream last night that Alduin was the one that killed me in this world. The rocks that crashed down around you during the fight got me, so I think I'm good here. I'm in. Now where are those books? Lots more mages to deal with at all sorts of skill levels. Novice mages, apprentice mages, master mages, dead mages. You name it, they got it. I'd also noticed while trying to pick some locks that I'd somehow lost my lockpicks. Must have put them away at home. I know I've not used them all. Anyway, you can release these vampires from their cages and normally they will help you fight the mages ahead, but the bullies started picking on my girl Hilda. So I murdered every single last one of them. Are you okay? Those big bad vampires trying to hurt you. Made it to Orthorn. This is the guy that ran off with the books. They took the books and locked his poor butt up. I told him he can help me until we get out of here. One more meat shield will do nicely. Well, I say that like I got spotted. I didn't. This new armor set is keeping me hidden pretty nicely. The main mage at the end will see you no matter what though. You go past the door and trigger a conversation right away. Made sure my arrow was tipped with poison and I was buffed with a marksman potion before passing the door. Dropped out of the conversation quick and took a cheap shot. Beautiful. She's dead and now I can take these books back to the college. Got a little scared outside. Not for my life, but for my horses. I've lost a lot of horses in this save and I can't seem to find him where I left him. They teleport with you when you use a carriage to fast travel, so hopefully when I do that, I'll find he's still alive and well. I did go to Solitude though. For some reason they never teleport here with me anyways. I wanted to go do a potion ingredient run before carrying on. I can probably squeeze out another 100 alchemy levels before needing to make more potions for myself again. Oh, and I found my lockpicks too. Accidentally put them in this box with a load of all of my crafting materials. I know there are more houses you can grow ingredients at too. Might try and get those at some point. We'll see, but for now, that's the main Half-Fire home hit. Next up is the farm. Now I can find out if my horse is dead traveling to Rorikstead. Nope, still alive. Really don't want to lose any more horses. Lots of ingredients here. Really like this home. Just kind of sucks it's a little buggy with storage and families. The good 10,000 gold. Sorry, got distracted, but by how much fatter my wallet got. Hilda's carried all of my ingredients, by the way. She's a good friend. Back at the main home with my alchemy set equipped and a boatload of potion ingredients. I made the alchemy skill legendary for the third time and got right to work. Whatever levels I get from this are 100% going into the conjuration tree. You're not gonna believe it, but with all of the Mara Tapanella, Scaly Foliota, Creep Cluster from one run, there was enough to get me all the way back to alchemy level 100 in just one sitting. Made sure to reinvest into alchemy as I went to get that back to where it was too. And you know what? I'm building up too many of the other ingredients and not using them, like Canis Root 2. So I could probably balance things out more and get more level in / money making potions. Sleep-in got me a total of 4 levels. I pumped health, and like I said, they're all going into conjuration. Mana pool isn't great, but it should be plenty for now if I get some of these perks going. Took adept conjuration to make adept spells, cost half the magicka to cast. Summoner to let me summon Atronachs up to twice as far away. Then Atromacy to double the duration my Atronachs can stay out before having to be resummoned. Lastly, I took Mystic Binding to make bound weapons do more damage. Now I can use this bound bow to help raise conjuration more and also work on my archery at the same time. Eventually we can use it to soul trap too. Anyway, it's the next day and I'm at the College of Winterhold to return these books. Passed by the Conjuration Mage, quickly did some training sessions, and went back to hand in them books to the orc at the library. I also use the Bound Quiver spell now. Lets me conjure 100 bound arrows to use with any bow I want. This guy said I should tell Tolfdir about the book called Night of Tears. So I did, and there's a lot going on here, but the ball's here now too. I gave the book a read, and we chatted briefly about it and the ball until Ancano interrupted us. This is a member of the Sigic Order here, and he wants to chat with me. He paused time to chat privately. Didn't want people with bad intentions like Ancano listening in. Told me the ball is very dangerous in the wrong hands, and I ask why they don't just take the ball. The Sigic Order doesn't like to intervene if they can help it. So instead, I'm to prevent the upcoming disaster on my own. He gave me a tip, and not the fun kind of tip. Wanted me to find someone called Augur of Dunlane. It's been like 13 years, still not sure if I'm saying that right. He's somewhere here in the college. Had to go below the college. I died down here once, in this very room, to this stupid cart. Walked up the stairs and jumped down, clipping it, and somehow died. That's not happening again. Talked to this blinding light who had the knowledge I needed. Said I need the Staff of Magnus to help get the Eye of Magnus under control when things kick off. The Eye of Magnus is the name of the ball in the college, by the way. Asked around the college about the staff and was told to go find a place called Mazulf. Day 20 and I'm making my way down south of the college and Windhelm. I'm gonna figure out what's going on with this staff. Spoilers, it's not here, but there is info about it. Made sure to start taking advantage of the bound bow spell. Leveling up 2 skills at once is kinda nice. It was pretty stressful, not gonna lie. Lots of machines and Falmer to kill. Only had one incident and it was this jerk sneaking up on me. I like to quickly hit left click to draw my bow if I can before pausing in situations like this. Lets me think for a sec and poison my bow. Now when I let go, it will be a weak shot, but he's close enough to get a tap and go down. Then I can just pound away on him until he's dead. Did bump into a Dwarven Centurion Master. Got killed by one of these in my first few attempts at a hardcore run. Not getting close, just in case. Got him stuck in a doorway. And this last room is interesting. I have to use fire and ice to heat and cool this sucker until the lights align perfectly on the ceiling where I can reflect light from around the room. Now there's a map projection on the wall. This guy says he knows we have something powerful at the college. Told him about the Eye of Magnus and asked if he could help me find the staff. He gave me the name of the location called Labyrinthia. I'm off. Well, not until I have a chat with this guy again. Wasn't paying attention to what he was saying this time. Freezing cold over here in the college, like always. But there's also trouble at the college, like always. See, Ancano was screwing with the ball, and after being confronted, turns on light mode, and the Archmage Savos is dead because of it. Well, we won't be needing this anymore. This, there we go. We need the staff. Ancano will be causing havoc until we get it. But first, now Winterhold is under attack by magic anomalies, and we have to defend the town alongside my fellow mages. They aren't too hard to deal with, especially with all of the friendlies in the area, but they are just a little bit annoying to hit, and they run off when they're low on health. Had to take a break halfway through at the inn to warm up on this fire. I'm warm and I'm back for round 2. After an awkward 5 minutes trying to hit the suckers, they are all dead. Or so I thought. See, I reported to this lady, who I tell I'm off to Labyrinthia to get the staff, and noticed another magic anomaly crossing the bridge. And disaster strikes, as it and my follower fall off the bridge. Yep, he's dead. Maybe. Probably not. We'll find out later. I'm not going down there to look for the body. Instead, I went to Windhelm to take the carriage to Morphel, the closest town to Labyrinthia, and had the closest near-death experience to date. Spawned in freezing cold with the smallest sliver of health left. Panicking, I run to the nearest building, which was the Jarl's Hall, and stuck my butt on the fire there. And hey, look, Taltrin's alive. Today's not such a bad day after all. Did have a rest at the inn in town before hitting the road. Labyrinthia is filled with trolls on the outer area, and I didn't want to leave my horse out here with so many of those things, so I went around picking them off real quick. And last one. Nice. Bang on the doorbell and head on in. Pretty quickly, you come across a place I'm always kind of worried about, but turns out this time around, there's no reason to worry at all. See, there's a good few skeletons past this gate, and you'll also trigger a skeleton dragon. But I managed to kill him with just one arrow. Got 5 bones out of that. I'm gonna turn them into arrows. Hilda, I got some bones for you to carry. I'm also sick as heck, by the way. I don't know if you can tell, but I might sound a little bit different. I would say, I'm sorry, but I kinda hope you catch it through the video. Did have another close call. Saying that a little bit too often lately. This time there was a soul gem trap that got my health pretty low, but I paused to heal up and then ran back to safety. Now I can carefully shoot the gems to disable them. Ghosts to kill along the rest of the way, along with some other enemies that were no trouble at all. Even this last guy with the staff of Magnus was a chump. I have to kill 2 ghosts in the room to drop his barrier and then take him down. You can take control of your Atronachs you summon as well, but I didn't have an issue with that because he also died very, very easy. Got the staff from him and one of the dragon priest masks. Now we can leave. Right after I tip my arrow with paralysis because there is a guy who comes running in and never mind, he's dead. Thought I'd have to drop him alive. I'm feeling pretty OP now. That guy was one of Ancano's friends. Dead now. Anyway, I got the staff and the mask. Now I want to head home to drop off some stuff before returning to the college. Selfish, I know, but I'm heavy. There's Lydia in timeout. Must have been bad again. What did you do, huh? You sit there and think about what you've done.
Could you give me an allowance?
Get lost. I'm sick. Just here to drop off all of this crap. Let's take the carriage over to Winterhold for the big fight. Now, I'm pretty concerned about it, but as long as we get a poison arrow into Ancano, we should be fine. But there's a short window where he's going to be invincible until we use the staff to close the eye of Magnus. Went into the college's Hall of Elements where Ancano is playing with the ball. He casts a paralysis spell on everyone in the room except me. Apparently. But now to use my Atronach as a distraction and use the staff to close the eye of Magnus to make him vulnerable. There we go. Now to get a shot off on this guy after tipping my arrow of poison, and down he goes. One last arrow to the side of the head and it's over. This member of the Sigic Order turned up and decides, yeah, we aren't quite ready for the ball, and takes it. Took them long enough. The Archmage's quarters are mine now too, as well as his ropes. I'm not wearing them, but I'll put them away and keep them. Right after I sleep and level up. Took health for the attribute and went into the conjuration tree to take Soul Stealer. It makes my bound weapons cast Soul Trap on targets. So if I killed Hilda with this bow, which I won't, it'll fill a soul gem in my inventory for enchanting. Yes, Restoration is a perfectly valid school of magic, and with only one life could be the reason the series continues someday. There's a few skills in the Restoration tree that I absolutely want, and maybe I should have tried to get them sooner. Like Recovery to regenerate magicka faster, but more importantly, the Avoid Death skill. Once a day heals 250 points automatically if you fall below 10% health. I want it, so I'm running up the hill to Bleak Falls Barrow with a simple spell called Turn Lesser Undead to grind out the Restoration skill. The enemies here should have respawned by now, and there's a lot of weak Draugr in here to use the spell on. Ran through the bandits and other baddies until I made it to these bozos. The spell makes them flee temporarily, if you're curious, but I'm just using it for the XP. We need Restoration level 90 for the Avoid Death perk, so we're gonna be here for a while. Psych, I left for a day. Now I have Restoration to level 50 after doing some grinding. I thought I'd get a better spell to level it up quicker. Oh, I do have some glass armor enchanted with Fortify Restoration, by the way, so the spells cost 0 magicka to cast now. And I thought Farengar would have had better spells, maybe, but I was wrong. So it's the carriage to Winterhold for me then. I bought the Repel Lesser Undead spell. This lets me hit multiple enemies at once with a wave of light. Will be much better than what I was using. I did sleep while I was here too, because I had a level up to spend. Took health for the attribute like always, and I went for Novice Restoration for the perk. I don't need that perk. Well, I don't need what it does, specifically, but I need it to progress into the skill tree, so it's fine. Found the Conjuration Mage. I did some training with him since I leveled up, and I also bought some books, including one I don't remember using before. Conjure Ancient Death Priest. When killed, the Death Priest splits into 3 tortured shades. I took the Dremora Lord too. Can't use either of them yet. Not enough magicka to cast, but I'll get there. I'm back, and yeah, this is much better. I'm hitting 3 of these jerks at once. Ah, crap. My game crashed on me. Reloaded and hit level 90 in no time. Now I'm leaving. I need levels to go into restoration, among other things, so it's time for a potion ingredient run. I got 4 levels from the last alchemy session. Doubt I'll get 4 now, but I'll take what I can get. Gonna hit all of our properties to gather these plants up. Had to sleep before spamming some potions, and actually I already had 2 levels to spend. I spent 1 on recovery and 1 on avoid death. Still have lots of perks I want, so I'm still gonna be doing the alchemy thing. But I made the trip over to the College of Winterhold to do some training for the conjuration skill before I get the next level, and well, I didn't even pay attention to the skills level or the guy's training level, because he's an expert trainer that locks out at the 75th conjuration level. I could only do the 1 session with him, sadly. Maybe heavy armor can be trained next? I know I'm a stealth archer, and what stealth archer uses heavy armor, right? But I could totally switch up the build one day, and just like the light armor skill, I'm probably not naturally leveling it. So Farkas in Whiterun at Yarvaska will help me with that. Training is cheap with him for now, since the skill is a low level. I'll start costing me more as time goes on. And you know, I probably should take all of my potion ingredients along with my alchemy set here to Whiterun so I can maximize training. Right, I got my ingredients on Hilda and Teldrin. Let's go back. The plan is to make alchemy legendary for the 4th time and start making potions, but stopping to reinvest perks into the tree to get things back to where they were when I hit the required levels. Then when I get a character level up, I'll stop and go rest at Yarvaska for an hour to level up and train with Farkas in heavy armor. Then rinse and repeat until I'm all out of potion ingredients from my harvest. Easy levels. I got 3 level ups total, and wait, how are you? Aren't you supposed to be dead? I swear, I did the companion's questline and he dies 100% of the time doing that. Yep, I'm a werewolf and the companion's questline is done. Weird. He's totally walking around alive and well. Had to go home to empty everyone's pockets. Hilda's first, and then Teldrin. Give me all of your stuff. Right, 3 perk points to spend. 1 can go into the 2nd recovery perk for 50% faster magicka regeneration. Next point goes into expert conjuration to make expert spells in that school cost less magicka. I know we could just make a set of armor for all of the magic skills so that we just spend no magicka on spells anyway, but I'll probably use conjuration at least a little bit with whatever build we're going for in the future. Lastly, I want novice illusion. This one won't matter much, but I want to go up and get the quiet casting skill eventually, so we're gonna need it. Since I got the expert conjuration perk, I can now summon my Dromora Lord too. No more flame Atronach for me. The Death Priest might end up needing an armor set to be used though. Earlier I got a perk for casting Soul Trap on enemies struck by my bound weapons. And I'd been building up a lot of Grand Soul Gems that are empty, so let's go take advantage of the skill and kill some mammoths. The giants give greater souls though, so I'll switch to my bone bow for these guys to not waste the good gems and use the bound bow for the mammoths to get those grand suckers. The hunting continued on into the early hours. Not gonna complain about these giant toes either. They make good potions for selling. Not that I need more of those. I have plenty of gold and enough potions to last me a lifetime. Hey, I got my archery to level 100. Now, the question is, do I make it a legendary skill? Yep, I'm doing it. That gave me a lot of skill points back, and our bow's doing a lot less damage for now, but it really doesn't matter, because I'm still doing enough damage for that reset to not have bothered the build much at all. Also making sure to add the points back into the tree when I'm able, but it won't be quite as easy to level up this skill back up as it would be for the alchemy tree. After a long day of randomly riding around killing mammoths and giants, I got a total of 28 grand soul gems filled at home. That's including what I already had here, to be honest. But that is a nice chunk. I do want multiple sets of armor for multiple different builds eventually, and I'd like some of those sets to be more dragon scale and dragon bone armor. Thing is, I've not been seeing many dragons about lately, but there is a way to get more popping up around the map if I continue on with the main storyline. The Greybeards recently sent me to go get a horn that belonged to their founder. But when I went there was no horn to get.
Just a note telling me to go to Riverwood to rent the attic room. So I did. Went to rent it off Delphine in the Sleeping Giant Inn, where I learned it was her that took the horn. She needed to get my attention and knew the Greybeards would send me after that horn. She's a member of the Blades, a dragon slaying group who wants to have me, the Dragonborn, on their side, with me being the ultimate dragon slayer. Tells me the dragons aren't just coming back from somewhere. They haven't been hiding out anywhere, but they've been dead all of this time, and that something is bringing them back to life. She told me where a dragon burial site is located over by Kynes Grove, and suspects that the holy crap, speak, and suspects that dragon is next on the list to be revived. She wants proof that I can consume their souls too, so I'm off to go kill a dragon. See, I mentioned wanted more dragon scales and bones. After getting past this part in the main storyline, more of the burial sites around the map will become active and, well, more dragons. Before this point, the mounds wouldn't be disturbed at all. I will say that I thought all mounds would be active right away after the quest, but I was wrong. It actually works where, depending on how far along the story you are, the more of them that become active. But here's Kynes Grove, and just up the hill you will find Alduin, the World Eater, reviving a dragon. He does fly off, leaving just me and his pet, but I didn't wait for things to kick off. I kicked them off myself, firing an arrow at the fleshless dragon. They do get their skin back, but this one didn't have time to take off before his health was dropped low enough that he's grounded for good.
I am Sahloknir. Hear my voice.
Nope, I'm good. Sucked up his soul and talked to Delphine again, who's also at the scene of the crime. She thinks the Thalmor might have something to do with the dragons coming back. But I'm done with that business for now. Just wanted to trigger the burial sites, but again, I was a little mistaken. While being clueless to the fact that the mounds are not all death traps yet, I went to the farm I own, and behind it you can go just past Rorikstead to find a dragon burial site. I'd seen Alduin reviving this one in the past on a different playthrough, and I thought it would happen again if I came here, but nope. Sleeping like a baby. I should continue with the main storyline, but I won't. Well, I will, but not for now. I never made an armory at my home. I made a kitchen, and I don't regret it. But I don't have many mannequins in the house, and like I mentioned, I really want multiple sets of armor, but I want them to be displayed nicely. I could make the armory at one of my other free houses, but I think I want to get the Mirewatch home. It's really close to my current main home, so it can be like a little getaway for me. I do hate how easy it is to get the home. You just cast a fire spell at the frontier and wait for this rabbit to get its butt in this thing, and boom, house is mine. I know I shouldn't complain about an easy home. I love the house, just make me do something to get it, you know? But yes, lots of mannequins and even places to store unique items on the walls and mask stands to fill. I bet this place looks awesome all filled out. And like I said, home is really close, so it's almost like an extension of the area for me. I could move out here entirely, but my feet are kind of firmly planted in this house. There is stuff everywhere, and I don't want to go completely. Grabbed some of the unique items I already have, which isn't much, by the way, but I took a lot of that stuff back to the new home and started loading up the walls. And back over to the main. I'm regretting using all of those bones earlier on arrows. I really didn't need to, but I've got a full set of dragon bone armor for a heavy build. I didn't make any of this stuff. Well, except the shield and the mace. I bought most of it. Can't upgrade it yet, but it's a start. I need more bones. I'm gonna go continue the main storyline like a good little dragonborn and go meet Delphine back at Riverwood. She said earlier that she wants to know if the Thalmor have anything to do with it, and she's sending me in. There's a party going on with the suckers, and she's gonna get me a fake invitation while I go to Solitude to talk to a smuggler called Malborn. This is a thing from now on, by the way. I'm just gonna keep in every single mess up I do. I'm here, and today was a bit of a mess. I can't see for crap, but there's Malborn. He's gonna have to wait. I need to sleep. Bought some food from the innkeeper and rented a room to sleep. It's morning, and I'm ready. Like I said, Malborn's gonna act as a smuggler at the party. I can give him whatever I want snuck in, but whatever I don't give him won't be allowed into that party. No weapons to arouse suspicion. I gave him my armor and bow along with some potions I needed. This is the most vulnerable I've felt for a while. One tap and I'm done. But luckily, where I was meeting Delphine was just down the road at some stables. Also, is that where my horse goes when I travel here by carriage? I guess so. Delphine gave me some fancy clothes for the party, and I'm off on the carriage. I'm still a one-tap, but I'm safe. I'm not dying before I get my gear back. Arrived at the Thalmor party and showed my fake invitation to get in. I was greeted by this lady, told her my name, I love telling people my name. I'm gonna name my first in real life child something like that. We were then interrupted by Malborn. Now I got this drunk to cause a scene by giving him another drink and asking for a favor. Then I snuck off with Malborn to get my gear in a back room. I'm geared up, and I can't say I've killed this Khajiit before, but I did. He called me a strange smell. Now this is where things get dangerous. There are a lot of not so happy to see me Thalmor, but I have to find something to bring back to Delphine. I did quickly find myself a full set of glass armor. I'll take it. Sneaking around, picking off these guys, easy. There's a good few magic wielding Thalmor in here, and they were terrifying me. Made sure to take them all down with paralysis poisons while my summon kept them distracted. Didn't get any info on if they have anything to do with the dragons, but I did find a journal. A journal that might be something Delphine would want to see. We'll escape and take it back to her in a minute, but first, the Thalmor have Malborn and want me to surrender or we both die. After shooting at the soldiers, I discovered that, yep, he is indeed no longer with us. Oh well, I only knew him for a few minutes anyway. I think I shot him. Oh, wow, yeah, I got one right in the eyeball there. Anyways, I escaped through the trap door in the building, and I'm out. Better get back to Riverwood. I have to walk, though. I'd been pretty scared if this happened about 100 days ago in the game, but now this is easy business. Anything comes up on me, I can deal with it. Made it to Solitude and took the carriage to Whiterun. We'll walk to Riverwood from there. Or not. There's a dragon, and I want its dead carcass for cloves. With the help of the people living around Whiterun, I took it down fairly easily and looted its bones and scales. I'm going home. Delphine can wait. Got my dragon bone heavy set and got right to upgrading it. This set can be for a one-handed shield combo. Gonna use a mace. I didn't realize I'd not gotten the block enchantment yet. I spent the rest of day 35 looking around for it from traders, and the search extended into day 36. Sadly, today still isn't the day. Went to Riften to see what they got, but nothing. Not a block enchant in sight. Windhelm was where the chase ended. I got this ring of minor blocking for less than 800 gold. Perfect. I better get back home and disenchant it. Or not. In Morfall, there's a dragon overhead I'd like to kill, but I'm in a heavy set. I left my bow at home, and I don't really fancy slugging it out with a dragon. It could still die. I'd let the townsfolk take him down slowly while I come in and swipe the loot, but that's not gonna happen because he's flying off. Made it home, and the way acquiring enchants work in this game is that you take an enchanted item that you got as a reward, looting or trading, and go over to the enchanted table to disenchant it. That breaks down the item so it's gone for good, but you get to use the enchant on other bits of your own unenchanted gear. So now that that ring's gone, I can put block on my dragon bone armor if I want it. Which I did. I got all of this gear enchanted, and I think I'm happy with this stuff. So for this set, I have a stamina-based backpack. This gives me an extra 20 points of this stuff, and obviously the extra carry weight. Then my boots have 41% frost resistance and 44% stronger one-handed attacks. Chest piece increases my health by 68 points, and stamina regenerates 34% faster. Gauntlets have 44% block and one-handed. Helmet just has some magicka-based enchants. I didn't have many options with that one, but it's nice for my conjuration, I guess. Shield's got 44% block and 21% magic resistance. Necklace coming in clutch with the 41% shock resistance and 44% one-handed. And lastly, the rings got 44% one-handed and 41% fire resistance. I'm not sure it's all perfect. I did get one of all of the elemental resistances and then just chucked on a magic resistance for the little bonus. Would all magic resistance have been better? Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm also starting to get more familiar with the caps in the game. Like how block has an 85% damage block cap, so only putting the enchant on 2 of my items would be worth it. I'm not great with that stuff yet. I know I went way over the armor cap for my light armor, but it's fine. But my heavy armor one-handed set and my light armor stealth archer set. I don't want to go give this new gear a go. Have like no perks taken for the skills I'm using with the gear. Should still be somewhat decent until we do. If we do. I got a saber and oh, that's not bad. Blocked a lot of that hit. Let's go to Riverwood and try out taking on an easy location. My mace is enchanted, by the way. I didn't enchant my bow earlier. No real reason. I just didn't. But my mace is able to absorb 21 points of health from enemies and also has a light soul trap on it. The absorb enchant is pretty heavy, so the charges on it won't last long, and the soul trap will help me keep it charged since I'm carrying around a boatload of soul gems on me all of the time. Anyway, I'm off to Ember Shard Mine. A very, very easy location over by the stand-in stones to try out the set. It's a pretty good loadout for having no skills invested at all, but I'm kinda scared. Have to remember, I only have one life, and I'm very much out of my comfort zone here. Luckily, the bandits at the mine are a bit of a joke. Leaving Hilda and Teldrin at the door, I'm gonna go in alone. This set is a new way to get XP though, if I wanted. Most of the skill trees are untouched for the build, so it's easy levels. Stormed my way through the cave, hammering the bandits with no trouble at all. I don't know how I feel about using this set all of the time. Probably putting it away for a while after this place. I just wanted to try it out. I do want a good conjuration set though. Maybe I'll use that glass set of armor I got from the Thalmor party earlier. Anyways, I'm done here. Let's travel home and get it on display. Got the armor on the mannequin and the weapon of choice on the plaque nearby. I sadly didn't have the refined malachite to upgrade the glass armor, so I'm checking the town's traders, buying out all of their materials. From now on, I'm doing this when I pass by the traders instead of just going out trying to find what I need when I need it. This way I'll conveniently have all I need at home in the future, and I've got plenty of gold to do it. It'd make a set of glass armor for my follower way back too. Might be thinking, what happened to that? Well, I used it earlier to make the restoration set. It wasn't a perfect set though, so it's not getting displayed. Okay, that's the glass armor all upgraded to legendary, but bad news. I somehow don't have a conjuration enchantment yet. Yeah, it would seem we have another enchant hunt on our hands. Got a dragon overhead, again, this time on the Windhelm Bridge. And I'm not gonna complain. Unless it kills me, then I'm totally gonna complain. But I need the bones. It's just a frost dragon, so it shouldn't be too hard to take down. Did blast me a little bit, but I survived. Got the ground-in shot on it while it landed over by a farmhouse and ran on over. I hate these balls of ice and fire that can be shot from them. It missed, but that was scary. One more shot, and down it goes. I'll take those bones. Windhelm's got my back for the second time. I got a circlet of conjuration to disenchant. We have the heavy one-handed block set on the right, and the stealth archer set on the left. And now I'm wearing a conjuration illusion set of glass armor. Trying to pay attention to the armor rating cap. I read it's not even 600, so the glass armor is hitting the cap already. Don't really need a set of dragon scale armor for all of these, and it's kind of nice to be able to have different armors for the different builds too, now that I think about it. There are a few sneak and bow enchants on the gear, but the big thing here is that I can cast any conjuration and illusion spell for 0 magicka. Yes, I know I invested in perks to make those spells cost less to cast, and they are pointless while wearing this glass armor now, but the perks are still useful for my heavy set and stealth archer. And you know, I'm gonna take the conjuration dual casting skill. Dual casting a conjuration spell overcharges the spell, allowing it to last longer. Also gonna take the second summoner perk for the ability to now summon Atronachs and raise undead 3 times as far away. Oh, and now I can summon the Death Priest. This guy looks awesome and splits into 3 more summons when he dies, but the build isn't complete yet. Yes, I'm spamming the illusion spell called Muffle for no magicka to raise it to level 50, so I can get the quiet casting skill. After 2 minutes of doing that, I went up the illusion tree, taking Animage to make my illusion spells work on higher level animals. Then Kindred Mage for them to work on higher level people. And now I can get the quiet casting to make any spell silent for others. My stealthy conjuration illusion hybrid build is done. The plans to sneakily summon this guy and switch out to my bound bow to provide support from a distance. Basically my stealth archer build, but with the ability to dip my toes into illusion eventually. Oh, I'm also going into the light armor tree again to take unhindered. Light armor weighs nothing and doesn't slow you down when worn. Then I'll take Windwalker to make stamina regenerate 50% faster while in all light armor. And that leaves me with 1 perk left. It'll take a while to get Archery back up to where it was now. Spent all of the perks on other things, but I'll get there. Or so he thought. He's dying in 6 days. He just doesn't know it yet. After some goofing around, I decided to look for a simple job to do to try out the new set. I hit the Inn in Morphel, as well as the Winkin Skeever in Solitude, but settled on a miscellaneous objective I've gotten a while ago to kill a bandit leader located at Stony Creek Cave. It's a far way for a simple job, but oh well. Alright, Hilda and Teldrin, you guys can stay here and wait in Windhelm while I go put the Death Priest to the test. The build is all about distractions, and they make for good distractions, but it's just me and him on this one. one. Right after I get distracted myself a good few times, I took the chance to work on archery with these big targets. Some mammoths and giants, as well as a dragon, was slain today. Can't tell if the summon is really bad or if it's just me picking fights with the big guys, but he's not doing very much. Even an assassin got it today. Someone has performed the Black Sacrament to hide the Brotherhood to kill me. Who did it? I have no idea. I mean, come on. I've only committed 91 assaults and 45 murders. Made it to Stony Creek Cave. I died here in one of my first few attempts at making a hardcore 100 days video, so I'm a little bit nervous. And yeah, this summon isn't doing much. He does split into 3 summons, like I said, and can also raise the dead around him, I'm noticing. So with me and Teldrin also doing work in the future, I'm sure he's one of the better distractions you can get. There's some kind of fire trap around here. That's what's killed me in the other run, but I'm not sure where it is or how it's triggered. Snuck on past and got a paralysis poison into the leader. That's all she wrote. Better get back to my friends and turn in the bounty at Windhelm. You get 100 gold from doing those. Really no reason to be doing those jobs for the gold. Just to find locations to explore. I think I want to continue with the main quest line some more. Last thing we did was the party where I discovered the Thalmor after someone called Esbern. They seem to think the blades might have something to do with the dragons coming back too, and Esbern is a good person to start with if they're trying to get info on the subject. They think he's hiding out in Riften, and Delphine is eager for us to find him first. Oh, I grabbed the rest of my junk I didn't give Malborn earlier, by the way. This is where it ended up. It's a trip to Riften for me. The Ratways specifically, but the Thalmor were indeed ahead of me. Had to slap around a couple of them before finding a locked up door with Esbern behind it. After convincing him to open the door, he tells me how he thinks all is lost with there being no Dragonborn for centuries and the World Eater returning to end the world. Told him I'm the Dragonborn and not all is lost. So he packs up his things and leaves, right after the Thalmor turn up. Easy enough to take down, but I am missing my main stealth archer armor set already. Leaving the Ratways, I was a little confused by a random Khajiit attacking me. Had a note on her that didn't say very much. I've made a lot of enemies, I guess. Taking the carriage to Whiterun, and we'll walk to Riverwood from there. Yeah, we cuddled. Big group hug before getting down to business. Business that I didn't really pay attention to. I got distracted like you wouldn't believe. And for no good reason, okay? I know it's about finding Alduin's wall from playing the game 72 million times over the years, but still. Totally went home to get my stealth archer set back. The conjuration one is a lot more playable for me than the heavy set. That's good, at least. I'll work on a new one at some point. Took the power shot perk back too. Alduin's wall is in Sky Haven Temple over by Markov, so I took a carriage over to the town and had a lovely walk through the Reach. Just kidding, you can't have a lovely walk here without bumping into some weirdos. Forsworn and a stupid ancient dragon. Toughest sky gecko I've seen for a while. I'm right next to Skyhaven Temple though, and that place, at least on the outside, is riddled with Forsworn, so everyone's busy fighting each other, and I'm just gonna go around picking off the scraps. Ancient dragons down, took the bones, and cleared out the rest of the antler lovers. Now to head on into the cave and push through to the temple. There's some puzzles along the way, easy puzzles, but still. Just have to make all of these have this same symbol, and the bridge will drop. Next one has you walk in on those same symbols to not set off traps. And there it is, Skyhaven Temple. To get past the head, you gotta give it a couple kisses and drop off your dragonborn blood. Not sure where I got this knife from. I wasn't carrying one. My character's hiding secrets from me. This is where all that's known about Alduin was recorded. Esbern says a shout was used to defeat Alduin in the past. And Delphine's not happy about it, but wants me to ask the Greybeards about it. Today is the day. I didn't know it yet, but I'm a dead man walking. See, before going to see the Greybeards, I picked up a random job from the inn at Morphel to kill a dragon at Elder's Blood Peak. Thought, okay, I could use the bones and scales in the future, so I'm doing it. Climbed up the mountain that would be my final resting place and got it on with the blood dragon. The dragon shouldn't have been a big deal to take on, and it wasn't. Killed it easy enough, but couldn't consume its soul. I'm not sure why. Game was just being weird. Get on my horse for the final time and start to make my way down the mountain. But I was silly and took a big fall. The horse seemed fine, but I started ragdolling down the hill. I really wasn't sure if I'm dead or not. Sometimes you can ragdoll like this and be fine, like when you get shouted at by a Draugr, for example. Even opened my inventory a few times to check on my health, and it seemed totally fine. Took a Fortify health potion for a tiny bit more health, but it's too late. It says my health's fine, but after I stop moving, the load-in screen pops, taking me back to the last save alive, and I have officially died. I'm stunned. Not how I planned on going out, but so well. That's the end of my story. I made it 148 days total, and I had an absolute blast. Thought I did pretty good. Should have been more careful with that mountain. Full damage is rough in this game. One day I'll have another try at this one life challenge again. I had a lot of fun with this one. Thanks for watching. You guys take care.